One, two, three, four!
Guys, how are you doing? Hope you guys are having a good start to the week. It's weather update. It's hot as all hell here at Yukon. Now I have my window open, which is currently getting no air in because there is no wind for once. Granted, the day that there is no wind, it's like fucking muggy and awful, and it's awful. Let's just leave it at that. And so right now I have like the fan that me and my roommate have in the room. It's sort of just like it's like an oscillating fan kind of thing. So right now, since he's not here in the room, I'm just kind of having it. I'm being a selfish bastard right now. Only time I can't be a selfish bastard when it comes to the air, and just sort of take all the air for myself, and it's really, really nice. Probably explains why my hair is billowing to some extent. So yeah. So today, to get back on topic, I want to talk about Nowhere Boy, which is the movie about the early life. Well, not the early life. The teenage years of John Lennon. Probably the most controversial of all the Beatles. To start off, the Beatles are probably, without a doubt, the most influential rock band in the history of ever. Like, even today, almost 50 years after they had their start, they made their big break. They are still listened to, they're still revered, they're still idolized. They're just it. They're like the greatest rock band in existence. The stuff they did in the studios were just, after they quit touring, it's just some of the best albums of all time. So now, of course, a lot of people talk about the Beatles and their albums and how great they were in the years of their touring and the infighting and Yoko Ono, But what a lot of people really don't discuss in terms of the Beatles, yeah, it's common knowledge, but really mostly discuss like the early years of the Beatles, the formative years of the Beatles, and that's where Nowhere Boy covers. Well, Nowhere Boy specifically focuses on John Lennon, like I said, and said the mid-1950s Liverpool, and it focuses on his relationship. Just John Lennon is played by Aaron Johnson. Between the relationship between his aunt Mimi, played by Kristen Scott Thomas, and his mother Julia, played by Annie Marie Duff. Also, another person you got Tom Sangster, I think that's his name is, playing Paul McCartney. Tom Sangster was also in, if you guys ever saw Love Actually, one of the few good romantic comedies out there. He plays the young son of Liam Neeson's character. Now, to start off with, Aaron Johnson as John Lennon is absolutely brilliant. Like, he may not look like John Lennon, per se, but he has, he has the expressions, the mannerisms, the sarcastic sense of humor, the way of speaking, he's, he embodies John Lennon in his performance, and it's brilliant to see him, because it's like, he's like, like he is John Lennon, and it's absolutely brilliant. Okay, I'm just gonna turn my fan off here really quick. No, here we go. No, there we go. All right. Oh, I am so unprofessional. Okay, so to get back to my review, it's just that all these three characters, Aaron Johnson, Kristen Scott Thomas, and Annie Marie Duff, are all brilliant in their roles. Especially Aaron Johnson, and especially and the scene where Mimi and John confront Julia. It's probably some of the best acting I've ever seen in all of cinema. Like, it's probably some of the best. It's easily the highlight of the film, which is kind of tragic because it's about a very serious, very sad subject. But just the acting is just amazing. Now, one of the things that's really kind of great about Nowhere Boy that kind of separates it from most other music biographies is that most music biographies tend to kind of put too much emphasis on the musical aspect. I mean, while at the same time this is understandable, because you have this is about a musician. Their musicians their output, what they're famous for, is their music. But just when you get to the point that the emphasis is put to if I wanted to see a concert, I would go see a concert, but I go to the movies to see films, about stories, and Nowhere Boy is able to bring that story and bring that mold in, which is fantastic. So, which is kind of why it separates it, apart from most of the musical biographies? Well, the film, of course, has to have some musical performances because while the film does focus on John Lennon's relationship with his aunt and his mother, we see him also, with Paul McCartney trying to form the early version of the Beatles, and we see the early version of the Beatles perform and stuff like that, For those who don't know, the early version of the Beatles was called The Quarrymen. And, but the musical performances are all great, too, so, there's a few downsides to the film, too. There are some moments where their accents were just so thick that it was just, especially there's times when they talked really, really fast, that it was really difficult to understand them. To some parts I was like, what did he say? Question mark? But, another thing that I, something it kind of creeped me out a little bit was, the way they portrayed the relationship between Julia and John Lennon. Yes, they're mother and son, but it feels slightly more oedipal in that way. And it's kind of creepy because they don't really seem like, mother and son. They seem more like they're going out at times, and it's just kind of creepy. It's very I think Freud would have very interesting things to say about that. Let's just leave it at that. So yeah, but other than those few things, Nowhere Boy is probably one of the better music biopics out there, and it's definitely one worth seeing, especially if you're a Beatles fan. This is mandatory viewing for Beatles fans, I think. Because not only do you get, you get the true you get not, true story behind John Lennon, and you get to see, how the Beatles were formed, and for Beatles fans that should be exciting, and I really recommend it to that, Even if you're not a Beatles fan, this is just an overall good movie with great performances, on top of that. So, yeah, considerably shorter than my other reviews, so I'll just go attend it with that. And plus, since I turned off the fan, I'm currently burning alive right now. So, yeah, guys, I will talk to you later, and I'll try to post a video up during the week. It's going to be difficult, so, because guess what I have next week? Finals! Yay! So, yeah, I'm not really looking forward to that, but I'll try to post maybe one more video at least before finals start up. So, right now most of my time has to be unfortunately spent cracking down reading books and going over all my old stuff from the semester. So, yeah, okay, so I will talk to you guys later then. And, again, have a great week, and for those of you who are in college, good luck on your finals. I'll probably post up, like I said, I'll probably post up another video soon, especially to anybody who goes to UConn, good luck on your finals. Right, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.